Picking the perfect apple at the store might not feel too profound, but sometimes, if you're in the right neighborhood, it is. A century ago, farm to table was nothing special. It was just how things were. And the foundation of Portland as a foodie paradise was being built by immigrants who found their home here. Produce Row is located along a stretch of industrial district in Portland's Central Eastside, and it played a huge role in Portland's food history, mostly thanks to a tight-knit network of Italian-American families.
We're an Italian-based store owned through generations of Italian families.
And I'm the last full-blooded Italian to run the store, and so it's very much a community of Italian people.
Okay, so why is all of this so important? Here's a little bit of the history. Between 1880 and 1920, a huge influx of Italians immigrated to the U.S. Many of them were farmers in Italy, and they continued their traditions here. A lot of places we know today as schools, neighborhoods, or factories were all at one point Italian farms. The food grown by these farmers was then sold by Italian produce sellers in the city. They often arrived before dawn to set up shop, a tradition that continues today.
So I get up at 12:30 a.m. I start at 2 a.m.
The hardest thing is waking up in the morning.
The original Produce Row was created in 1906. Carts and wagons overflowing with fresh fruits and veggies filled up an entire block and expanded from there. Over time, the city and shopping habits started to change. Chain grocers started to elbow out the smaller, family-run markets.
Cornell's in the day was just down the street. They closed in 2005. And, it was kind of like a friendly competition. We knew the family, and, my father even worked there for a brief time.
But the legacy of Produce Row lives on. Frank Ranella started his produce business in 1914. He'd often set up his cart right next to Fred Meyer's original pre-grocery store coffee cart. Today, over 100 years later, Ranella Produce has grown, and it's still owned and operated by the Ranella family. Joseph Gatto got his start delivering fruits and veggies by horse and opened his own produce business in 1915. The wholesale business Gatto & Sons is still owned and operated by his grandkids. Mary Spada started selling salad out of a truck in the early 40s. This eventually grew into United Salad, and the Spada family still runs the business. Emil Namarnik immigrated to the U.S. from Italy when he was 10. He grew up working on Produce Row and founded Pacific Coast Fresh Company in 1977. And Sheridan, owned and operated by the Palaio family since 1946, is the last original retail market still standing.
It means a lot to try and stay here.
The local people, they really is our backbone.
And everything that makes the Pacific Northwest a foodie paradise is still here in the Central East Side. From the history, to the food, to the people who care about getting it to your plate.
We buy from local farmers and we get everything seasonal. We deliver to all the restaurants in the area. We go all the way from Hillsboro to Battleground to Troutdale and all the way out to Carlton, Oregon. We kind of see it from the bottom up.
The local chefs that come to Sheridan and say, oh my God, you come to Sheridan, and they take our food and they make it at their plate. We go to some of those locations too so we can taste it and say, God, this tastes good.
My favorite part of my job is to be out front, visiting with those people that sometimes you maybe only see once a year. Sometimes I feel like I'm not only the president, I'm the mom around here.
So whether it's that perfect apple or a delicious meal at your favorite local spot, Portland is a foodie paradise built in part by the legacy of Produce Row.